Hey, welcome to Computers for the Completely Clueless. I'm Lee Keller.
And I'm Kim Cavanaugh.
And we're trying to talk about Google Earth.
We're trying to talk about Google Earth, and we're gonna continue talking about Google Earth. We started last week, and if you don't know, or you missed last week's show, Google Earth, a free application,
easy to download,
that lets you do some amazing things. And Lee, since in the interim, since we talked about it last week, there's a new version that's been released that lets you do even more. And if there's one program that is just flat out fun,
it is. It's it's my favorite program.
It is just so cool because there are so many things that you can do, and so many great features that are built in, and is just a lot of fun. So we're going to have a little more fun this week with Google Earth. And how do people get Google Earth, Lee?
Gee, I'd go to Google.
Google.com, yes.
Go to Google. You can go to earth.google.com,
right.
Or you can go to google.com/earth.
Right.
Or you just go to Google like we showed last week.
Search for Google Earth.
The more.
Yeah, that's one way.
It's
easy to find.
It's really easy.
All you need is an internet connection. You do need to set up a Google account, or it helps to have one anyway. I'm not sure that you actually need to. Right, no. I don't think it's required, but it's not a bad idea to have one anyway. But, you download it to your computer. You need an internet connection, obviously, to do that. It's a quick and easy install, and it's available in Windows, Macintosh, and for the real geeks out there, Linux.
Really? It's a Linux version, too?
Some older versions of Linux. So, cool. Not a bad deal, but we're going to go ahead and look at the objectives for today.
Yeah, we got to log in real quick
here. Okay. And we're going to pick up where we left off. We're going to do a quick review on what you will see when you're in the Google environment, and then we're going to look at some of the more semi-advanced features.
Yeah, we did some flybys last week, but this week we're going to try to get into directions a little bit, talk about how you can take the directions and even print them.
Right.
You can do fly to, that is a point-to-point flyby.
Okay.
And my favorite, flying by route.
Oh, boy, that'll be fun.
It is so cool.
That's a lot of fun, you're right.
And you know what, that's a lot of fun, but then there's ways that you can customize the experience. Some easy settings that you can do, and some that are a little more advanced. They're flight settings, so when you do those flybys, you determine the angle and the altitude.
Oh, I can tell you're going to get all geeky on this early.
It's so nice. And there are some special features. We'll talk about ways that you can turn those on and off.
Right.
And we'll look at the feature list and go down through some of those things, talk about what they're for. And, of course, we'll have a viewer question. Somebody is dazed and confused.
Oh, we wouldn't want that to continue on.
No, and if anybody has a question, they can always go to www.palmbreezecafe.com/questions. Fill out the simple little form, most of which is their question.
Right.
And we'll try to get on it on the show.
All right, well, let's dive right into Google Earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to, again, be looking at some of the really cool things. And let's take a minute just, again, to look at the interface. Obviously, the primary thing in Google Earth is the globe, the Earth itself. Lee just gave it a little spin there.
Yeah, it's nice. You just take that hand and you slide it.
So you just hold down your mouse button and give it a little nudge, and you can spin it around till you find the place where you want to stop. And then over on the left-hand side, you have the toolbar. Now, this can be turned off and on. If you turn it off, you'll have more space for the Earth itself.
Right up here,
and there's a little
hide sidebar.
Right, click that to hide the sidebar. And now you can see how much larger the Earth is there in that representation. And to turn it back on, Lee, what would you do?
Same thing.
Just click on the same thing. Now, over on the left, again, that's our sidebar, and it's divided into 3 different sections.
First one is our search.
The search section, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Places, which is very interesting because you can save places or even download files from other people that have interesting things about different places on the Earth. And then all the way down at the bottom, we have one called layers. And a layer basically is like an overlay that you can place over the top of the representation of the Earth. And you can remove or add those overlays, and each one of the overlays in a layer gives you different capabilities. For instance, there's a layer for roads. Let's say you want to see the names of the highways. You can turn that off or on. Very easy thing to do. And again, as Google Earth expands, there's all sorts of cool things that have been added. Just reminded me just now that I saw that the weather is really, really way cool.
I've used that.
So that's our sidebar, okay? 3 different areas where things are divided up. And then for zooming and controlling the location where you are, there are 3 little buttons over on the right-hand side, or 3 little kind of, I don't know what you call those exactly.
Sort of controls.
Controls, yeah, yeah. So the top one allows you to, again, move around on the Earth or change its orientation north to south. And
okay, and yeah, the other thing you can do with it, there's a special key here for this one that I use a lot. If you hold the Shift key down and you use this up arrow, that's the one that allows you to lay the Earth down, so you can get that three-dimensional perspective on things. It's really that's one of the nicest things I think you can do.
See, I was struggling with that earlier, and I couldn't remember it. Now, there's actually down, so that's the top one that lets you change the orientation, north, south, and so forth.
Yeah, let's go someplace. It's a little easier to see it that
All
way.
right.
Let's go back up to New York.
All right, easy enough. We had previously typed in New York, New York, and we're going to go zooming right on down, flying, as it were, down to New York.
Yeah, see, this one will let you move up and down.
Right, exactly.
And this one actually sort of lets you move that way too, but this one, I'm actually laying it down at the same time.
I see. Well, if you use the bottom control there, the one that's got the zoom control, the plus and the minus, that will also, if you get down close enough, there's a setting that allows you to lay things down automatically. So here we are up in the northern part. I guess they call this upstate New York.
Every time I look at Google Earth, I find things I'm interested in.
Oh, I don't know.
It looks like a small lake.
Right, maybe some sort of industrial facilities, all sorts of cool things. How do they get these pictures?
Satellite. The satellite stuff is amazing. In fact, I remember you showing me the, what is it out in Colorado?
I'm not sure. The Devil's Canyon? Is that the one that we saw?
NORAD.
NORAD, oh yeah.
I mean, you think of NORAD, you think that, geez, they're going to show
right, North American Air Defense, Cheyenne Mountain,
yeah.
Exactly. And you can actually go right there and fly again over to Colorado. It's built right basically on the slopes of Pikes Peak on another mountain called Cheyenne Mountain. And if you zoom way on down in there, you'll find the North American Air Defense.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it when we did this once. I'm
right.
like, oh my God, you can actually look at that thing?
Yeah, and so again, these little zoom controls, the controls over on the right-hand side, they fade in or fade out based on the position of your mouse. So if you move your mouse away from them or kind of zoom in, it'll actually give you a little bit of a break.
Yeah, it
there.
doesn't look like I got a really
it doesn't really look like NORAD that I recall.
No, but I did find that once, and I was like amazed because you could see that big door that goes into the cave and everything.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about directions. That was the first thing we wanted to do on our list of things to do.
Let's go to directions. And, you know, one of my favorite ones to do when I'm demonstrating this is I like to go to Denver. And then from there, I like to go to Pikes Peak. You can see I've been there before.
Yeah. And then all you have to do is type in the start location and the end location.
Yeah.
And it's actually going to lay things out and create a route for you. Notice the blue line or purplish line there that's been created.
And you notice it makes
we're coming
key
up
points.
Oh, yep, it does. Now we're coming up to a break, Lee, but when we come back, you're going to show us how to fly along that route.
We'll do a point-to-point fly, and we'll do a route flyby.
Great. So stick around for more fun with Google Earth.